got some Jordan 5s to look at. The Air Jordan 5 Retro. Now this is that Tokyo colorway. Before we get into the review, do me a favor, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. If you do dig the content, also hit that share button. These videos that we do on this channel are strictly for review purposes, so if you do happen to have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to drop those down below. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the review. So this sneaker does come in your standard Air Jordan 5 packaging. Now it is pretty much like, black for the most part on the upper. Smack dead on the box lid, you do have the red Jordan Jumpman logo. If you do a 360 around the box, you will notice more of that Nike Air brand in there and red on both sides. The bottom portion, you do have the hit of gray with the black paint blotches. The bottom portion of the box, it does have the hit of black here. You do have some Nike Air brand and the copyright information here in white. Over on this side, you do have the red Jordan Jumpman logo. Other than that, nothing else really too much to notate. For those that do care about that, there you go. Now the box label on the sneaker does read Air Jordan 5 Retro. The colorway says Varsity Maze, black, and then on wolf gray. Now when you do open the box, and it is a swing box lid situation, up underneath you do have the hit of white, and you do have a blue stamp here over on this side. Inside the box itself, the sneaker did come wrapped in this kind of like, plastic, kind of like, trash bag material, if you will. And there isn't like any other like, paper on the inside. From there, you are met with the actual sneaker itself. Extremely limited sneaker. This was a retro. This is a re-release. The sneaker was released a few years back. Definitely glad to get this one in the collection. Now inside the box, you do have your white and green sticker over there. Let's move the box out the way. And then, yeah, man, excellent sneaker, man. They did go ahead and give us a few lace options on this one. Let's jump right into it. And again, this is the Air Jordan 5 Retro, and this is that Tokyo 2025 colorway. So we are going to take a look at the right sneaker like we always do. Now, from first observation, the sneaker does look like what you would expect from like any other Air Jordan 5. The entire upper portion of the sneaker does have like the hit of this yellow nubuck material. They did kind of give us like these gray lace tabs here. Smack there in the middle, you do have like, this kind of semi-translucent kind of material here. And it does kind of feel kind of like plastic, kind of maybe rubber to the touch. Up underneath, you do have some gray nylon mesh material. Going towards the rear, you do have this black stitching, and it does kind of have like, the number 23 there. The midsole of the sneaker going towards the front, you do have the hit of black. Now they did give us like this hit of white and then more black going towards the rear. You do have your cutout here for the air bubble over on this side. And then you do have the yellow kind of shark teeth here that does kind of match like, the yellow here up top. And again, you do have the black paint blotches there. The sock liner of sneaker does have this hit of gray, and that's pretty much it over on this side. Going toward the front toe box area of the sneaker, you are met with more of this yellow nubuck material. Even here for the mud guard here, they gave you the hit of the yellow. Yellow stitching is consistent throughout the entire sneaker. Up top here, the sneaker itself, they did give us these flat black laces here, and they did give us a secondary lace option here in white. In my opinion, I do feel like the black laces do look a little bit better in my opinion, so I do feel like those are here to stay. Up underneath, you are met with more of this kind of like, netted material here, if you will, and that does go up about 3/4 of the time. You do have this lace lock here, and it does have like the Jordan branding here over here, and it is made out of this hard plastic material. Now the tongue of the sneaker, it does have like this hit of gray here, and then up top you do have this hit of black stitching here for the Jordan Jumpman logo. Behind the tongue, you do have this white tag here, and it does have the Air Jordan text there in yellow. The insole of the sneaker, it does have like, hits of black, gray, and yellow, but if you look on the inside, you do have that black circle with the yellow Jordan Jumpman logo. I will pull those out and get, like, you know, some B-roll images for you guys. Now, the medial side of the sneaker, pretty consistent, just like most Air Jordan 5 sneakers. So you do have, like, you know, this mid panel here, this and, like, you know, this semi-translucent hit, more of the yellow nubuck and yellow stitching going throughout the entire sneaker over on this side. Now, the outsole of the sneaker, you do have the hit of black and white. Of course, you do have your cutout for the air bubble that you can kind of see over on the other side. And then you do have, like, this hit of, like, yellow with the black paint blotches, and that is kind of consistent with the shark teeth on the other side. Other than that, you can kind of see the icy blue showing up from underneath, and that's pretty much it. Going towards the rear, you do have more of this yellow, kind of like nubuck material, if you will, and then of course you do have the black stitched in Jordan Jumpman logo. The outsole is actually showing on the back as well, so you do have the hit of black and white, and then of course you can see the icy blue, and that's pretty much it for the rear. Now, the bottom portion, you do have your standard Air Jordan 5 bottom. Now, herringbone traction predominantly through the entire bottom portion. Now, you do have this hit of yellow here up top. You do have the Jordan Jumpman logo here up top by the toe, and then smack there in the middle, you do have that hit of gray, and it does have that hit of the Jordan text there on the mid portion. And that's pretty much it. Now, the left sneaker is pretty consistent with the right. Everything on this one is the same. They didn't swap out anything over on this side. And that's pretty much it. If I were to actually rate this sneaker, I would definitely give this one a solid 10 out of 10. I'm definitely glad that Jordan Brand decided to bring this one back. Now, it was originally released a few years back, but it was extremely limited. I don't really know, like, the story with this pair here, but I do remember seeing images of them, and I just thought that they was fire. So if y'all want to give me, like, you know, more insight on this sneaker, because I really didn't do the education on this one before I got them in hand. But yeah, man, solid 10 out of 10. As far as, like, comfort and sizing, now to me, this sneaker actually fits a little bit bigger than most Air Jordan 5s. I still recommend sticking true to size on this one. Like, it's not too heavy on the foot or anything like that. I just feel like these were actually a little bit more, it has a little bit more space in this one than it does in most Air Jordan 5s. But that's pretty much it. But I definitely want to take the time to shout out the vendor who actually gifted the sneaker to review on the channel for you guys. And I do encourage you guys to stay engaged like always. I can be reached on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even here on YouTube. Everything is at the King of Soul. But before we go, I'm gonna hit you guys with a 360 and the B-roll like I always do. But there you go, Air Jordan 5 Retro. Now again, this is that Tokyo 2025 colorway. So there's the front of the sneaker, lateral side of the right, lateral side of the left. There's your bottom portion. There's the medial side of the sneaker. And then there's the rear. But I thank you guys for taking the time to tune in like always. But until next time, see you later.